Buckle up for a foodie road trip.
You can find anything you want here. You know, literally every ingredient for every dish is in the Skagit Valley.
Refined heads north to experience a small town known to be a hidden restaurant paradise. Plus,
it was an accident. I dropped a tea light into a hand-blown glass vessel on my kitchen island, and it lit up the way all of these light up today.
the tiny spark that inspired the global sensation GlassyBaby, and the big event that they're gearing up for this weekend. Then,
you know, I had people stopping me in their cars. I had people getting out of their cars, you know, taking some of the pastries back.
meet the Seattle man serving up an Asian pastry that has people stopping in their tracks. Seattle Refined starts now. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Seattle Refined. I'm Greg Swanson. We are on Queen Anne today. You know, we all know Seattle is a foodie paradise, but you don't have to hit up big cities to experience a big-time foodie scene. Case in point, a small town up north near Bellingham. Edison, Washington has put itself on the culinary map with diverse and acclaimed restaurants. And of course, we wanted to see it and taste it for ourselves. That's why Refined's Brandon Bernstead jumped in a 2019 Toyota Corolla hatchback and said, let's go places.
Today we're headed up north, just past Burlington and Mount Vernon to Edison, Washington. Now, Edison may be a small town, but it has a big reputation for incredible food, and I cannot wait to check it out. The hour and 15-minute drive seemed to fly by in the brand new 2019 Toyota Corolla hatchback. It has a sophisticated design, standard 8-inch touchscreen, and ultra-comfortable interior. After the road trip, I was relaxed and ready to eat in Edison.
There's an authenticity to what everyone is doing in this town. There's a lot in our world now that's not as real, and so we're doing it how things have been done, and I think that there's an appreciation for that.
Scott Mangold is the head baker at the acclaimed Bread Farm, a bakery food and wine magazine called perhaps one of the best on the West Coast.
It's a gathering place. It's a place of kind of warmth and comfort and enjoyment and pleasure. And we're really trying to produce something that is so wonderfully delicious that people can't refuse needing to come back and get more of it.
Every day, the team here is cranking out between 600 and 1,200 loaves of bread, along with mouth-watering French pastries, cookies, and pantry staples.
Absolutely try our potato bread. So we're using potatoes that are grown from a woman that's 1.5 miles away from us. The cookies and the pastries, take your pick. They're all terrific.
Of course, I couldn't leave without grabbing some fresh pastries for the road. Oh. Now I know why that place was so busy. Next stop, another spot that draws a crowd. The charming Farm to Market Bakery.
We do stuff small batch, small baking quantities throughout the day. And when people come in, they know they're getting it, you know, hot out of the oven, you know, made that day, right for them.
We're gonna make some cinnamon rolls. We go through a lot of these. We do this every day, and we generally sell out. It's definitely a thing that a lot of people come here for.
And you can find anything you want here. You know, literally every ingredient for every dish is in the Skagit Valley. You're using good ingredients, you're gonna make a good cinnamon roll. You know, put love into it and you get something good out of it.
Anthony tells me, if you're gonna have this, you gotta have it with frosting, right? If you're gonna go for it, go big. You cannot go wrong with a big old cinnamon roll, some frosting in a beautiful setting like this at Farm to Market. After gorging myself on baked goods, it was time for a proper meal. Luckily, all I had to do was walk next door to the Roadie Cafe.
It's an institution in the Bow Edison area, really. It's been in business for 36 years now. My wife and I have had it for the last 6 years, and it's always, the premise is doing local seasonal food from the Skagit Valley and the area surrounding it.
Jim Kowalski and his wife Lisa own both Farm to Market and the Roadie, and Jim is the executive chef at this spot.
We're doing a seared duck breast with sweet potato puree, fresh pear chutney, and local Skagit potato gnocchi with fresh herbs. The primary thing is searing the duck breast. We do it low and slow to render the fat. Then we will saute the gnocchi in whole butter and olive oil with some garden fresh herbs. And then we compile that with the puree and the chutney. And there we have duck breast roti cafe style.
A perfectly composed bite of food, the perfect way to end a perfect day here in Edison. That wraps up another belly-filling Toyota adventure.
To learn more about the 2019 Toyota Corolla hatchback, head to buyatoyota.com. Not far from Edison is apparently one of the best burgers in the state. At least that's according to a SeattleRefined.com writer. She claims that the filling station in Bellingham has the best burger and fries she has ever had. It's located in the Fairhaven district. To read her scrumptious review, head to our website. It's safe to say that many people in Seattle have an absolute GlassyBaby obsession. They go nuts for these unique candle holders for a good cause. And this weekend, there is a special event that will surely bring out the crowds. More on that in just a minute. First up, Refine's Malia Karlinski spent time with the woman behind the multi-million-dollar GlassyBaby empire.
A flame flickering in a glass votive. It may seem simple, but for Lee Rhodes, it was illuminating.
It was an accident. I dropped a tea light into a hand-blown glass vessel on my kitchen island, and it lit up the way all of these light up today.
And what was happening in your life during that time?
At that time, I had 3 young children and had just been diagnosed with lung cancer. And so it was a complicated time, but the discovery of the dancing light in the colored vessel changed everything.
In 1998, as she battled cancer, Lee realized some of her fellow patients also struggled just to get their basic needs met.
Some people couldn't finish their chemotherapy because they couldn't pay to park, or they couldn't get a warm sandwich, or they just didn't have that support. And that was just an eye-opening experience for me. At the same time that I discovered the candle, I kind of thought there must be some way to marry the two together. And that was the beginning of GlassyBaby. It's beautiful.
She wanted to find a way to lighten the load for others and brighten lives. In 2001, GlassyBaby was born.
I loved them, and then I had some made around Seattle that people would light for me. And then all of a sudden they were lighting them for their family and friends. And then people were coming to my house, you know, at all hours to buy them out of my garage. Then we went on Martha's store.
Do you know what a GlassyBaby is? These are GlassyBabies.
Thanks to a friend, GlassyBaby caught the eye of the domestic diva.
My phone rang at GlassyBaby, and it was Martha calling to say, I love these candles. I'd love to have you on my show.
I received this gift of all your rainbow colors, and
That put us on the map. It took us 7 months to fulfill the orders.
Their first GlassyBaby was true white.
It's just a really beautiful, like an alabaster, like the inside of a shell. And it's just incredibly healing.
But today, they offer tons of gorgeous colors. From the beginning, GlassyBaby has been all about sharing the light, both literally and figuratively. Over the years, they've worked with hundreds of nonprofits.
So GlassyBaby actually gives back a pretty generous percentage, right? Tell me about that.
We give 10% of revenue back. We're about to give our $10 millionth away.
What's your mission statement?
We give money to help people, animals, and the planet heal. And we really do. We write the big checks.
That's a pretty awesome mission statement.
Yeah.
People are drawn to them.
It's the multitude of colors, and I think that the light that goes through them is really unbelievable.
We spend a lot of time trying to make things more complicated than they are. This is a simple gift. They all have names. You can use it as a language. And a lot of times with cancer, and even in celebrations, it's hard to find the right words, and we've kind of given people a language to use.
There are over 400 different GlassyBaby so far, and Lee herself has named each and every one of them.
I know this is probably a little bit like asking who's your favorite kid, but can you show me a few of your favorite GlassyBaby?
I love kindness.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It's kind of an iridescent cream. I love $1 million because I think that name is incredible. I love giving people $1 million.
What was the inspiration behind you naming this color?
Because I just think it's funny.
They're all made in one of 2 U.S. locations, including at this GlassyBaby store / hot shop in Seattle. It takes 9 minutes to make each one, and 900 are produced each day, 7 days a week.
So Lee, what is this?
This is our glass blowing studio in Madrona. We believe that supporting artists is important. You can really feel when you touch and feel and hold a GlassyBaby, you can feel, number one, it was handmade, but it was handmade with love.
From that spark of an idea decades ago, Lee and her hand-blown glass business have helped countless people, and it's still glowing strong.
We're selling a lifestyle, a way to slow down and appreciate people and things that you love. And it can be 5 seconds or it can be 5 hours. It really doesn't matter. There's so much calm and tranquility and just simple joy in putting a candle in color.
Malia Karlinski, Seattle Refined.
GlassyBaby has its second sale this weekend where people can buy votives at a discounted price that have a slight imperfection. Warning, people line up pretty early. To learn more, head to GlassyBaby.com. Seattle Refined is just getting started. Refined's John Prentice crosses an item off his bucket list. We show you his thrilling ride in a World War II bomber. Plus, meet the local man taking Seattle by storm with authentic Japanese street food. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Refined. I'm Gart Swanson. You know, there's a new Seattle chef that's serving up an old world recipe. They dish up an Asian cuisine that combines my two favorite things, meat and bread, and a little more. Here's Refined's Aaron Mayofsky.
How do you get these so perfectly round? Look at, you're like rolling it, just makes it look super easy. And then they're just nice little perfect puffs.
Lots of practice.
Harold Fields knows the restaurant biz, starting as a dishwasher long ago, and now he owns Umami Kushi, a specialty business cranking out authentic Japanese street food.
What I usually do, the dough has to have a little bit of moisture on it so it's elastic enough so that once you fold it, it sticks. So once you put the curry in there, you see how moist it looks right there? So then you can pull it around and then you get that part and see how it's already sticking.
Oh yeah.
And so then it's a matter of just forming it into a little ball and constantly pleating.
This cuisine king is best known for these. They're called pawns. They're sort of like a deep-fried Japanese donut, stuffed with everything tasty.
When I started this, I started with the curry pawn, and just shortly after that, I realized, like, you know, it'd be nice to have some other flavors, other varieties.
Harold is the real deal when it comes to this delicious delicacy. He was trained in Japan by chance. 14 years ago, while living in New Orleans, Hurricane Katrina wiped out his home, pushing his family to Japan, the homeland of his wife. It was there he found inspiration to a whole new food world.
You know, some of the foods I ate, you know, were part of my first time of eating this, whether it was, you know, yakitori, takoyaki, and then the pawns, they were just magical. I mean, everywhere there was a convenience store, cafe, you know, I found myself going in there and buying one of them.
After calling the Emerald City home, today, Harold makes hundreds of pawns, taking Seattle by storm with his incredible flavors.
This is jerk chicken with fried plantains. This is sausage and peppers. This is barbecue pork tasso. This is smoked salmon and cream cheese. And this is vegan lentil.
Harold can't keep up with the demand, selling to local coffee shops and stores, hand delivering the pawns.
He's here, you know, the curry pawns are here, everyone. And, you know, I had people stopping me in their cars. I had people getting out of their cars, you know, taking some of their pastries back, saying, oh, you know, is that them? And so there were people, you know, thanking me. And so those were the things that just kind of kept me going.
Harold says he hopes his pawns can unite communities across Puget Sound. Everyone can relate to food.
You might want to try the jerk chicken one.
Okay. It's so good. I love it. I love these. I mean, I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
They're so good.
You know, it's fun. It's great when you make food and you can make a difference in people's lives, and all of a sudden you see this excitement. I think, you know, as a chef, that's all we ever want to do.
I'm Aaron Mayofsky for Seattle Refined.
Harold says he's gearing up to open up a new restaurant later this summer. Coming up, take a ride with Refined in a B-52 bomber. But first, here's our happy hour cocktail of the week, thanks to our friends at Queen Bee Mixology. back to Refined. I'm Garrett Swanson. If you know anything about Refined, you know that our John Prentice loves two things in life, to eat and to go really, really fast. So when he asked us if he could go flying in an old World War II bomber, we didn't even know what the story was about. We just said, go for it, John. And he did.
Nowadays, lots of people get upset when their phone won't connect to Wi-Fi, a cup of coffee isn't made exactly how they want it, or heaven forbid, a tourist blocks the crosswalk with their car. More than 70 years ago, World War II. Young men fresh out of high school were called upon to fight incredible evil on land, sea, and air. Some of those brave young men flew planes like these. B-24 and B-25 bombers, P-51 Mustangs, and the B-17 Flying Fortress.
Well, they were just kids, and they did an incredible job. They saved the world from Hitler, which was quite a task. They risked their lives. They didn't come back in huge numbers.
Today, these rare birds are maintained by the Collings Foundation Wings of Freedom Project, a traveling museum, touching down recently at Seattle's Museum of Flight, teaching the public about the heroic actions of World War II vets. Ty Ramey says he's been flying vintage warplanes for about 30 years.
This is a North American B-25 Mitchell bomber.
How do you keep them going?
Constant attention, tweaking on them, fixing them in between flights and things, and a good maintenance program. And what really keeps them going is the support of the people coming out here to crawl through them and go up on flights.
What is it like to fly in one of these things? Time to find out. The engines roared to life. The hula girl on the dash started dancing. It was time. Then it wasn't. Air traffic control told us to wait. Too much traffic. This B-25 is more than 70 years old. What's another 30 minutes? But sitting there on the tarmac, I couldn't help but think about how scary it would have been to sit in this seat, waiting to fly into combat. Fighter pilots, bomber crewmen, or paratroopers in a C-47 listening to engines like these, feeling the rumble, breathing the same oil-soaked air, waiting to fly into an uncertain future. Their missions were heroic. Our mission was simple: enjoy the breathtaking views. After a quick lap around downtown Seattle, it was time to land, and the hula girl jiggled with delight. She had been shaking for about an hour straight. I'd be tired and ready to land too. Seeing these historic craft in action, up close and personal, is something I'll never forget. Exactly what the Wings of Freedom Tour is all about.
How important is it to keep these kind of things alive?
It's amazingly important. I mean, it's dedicated to those of our greatest generation who sadly are passing away at an alarming rate. It's a great tribute to the veterans from World War II.
John Prentice, Seattle Refined.
We'll be right back. Here at Seattle Refined, we never get tired of hearing from you. Like us on Facebook, tweet us your story ideas, or shoot us an email telling us what you want to see on the show. You can find our inbox at hello@seattlerefined.com. Seattle Refined will be right back. Welcome back to the show. Now, before we wrap things up on Refined, here's what's hot on SeattleRefined.com right now. Meet Timber. The 4-month-old Golden Doodle is the Refined Spotlight of the Week. We're told he has lots of energy, loves people, but isn't the biggest fan of car rides right now because he gets sick every time. Timber is absolutely adorable. If you have a pet to nominate for the Seattle Refined Spotlight of the Week, just email us at hello@seattlerefined.com. Also on our website, get to know the next Bachelorette. We have a photo gallery on SeattleRefined.com with fun facts about Hannah B. That includes her nicknames and possible enemies. There's some really juicy stuff there, so you'll want to check it out. All right, that's going to do it for today's show. I'm Garrett Swanson. Have a good one, everybody. We'll see you next time right back here on Seattle Refined.